Hey guys, so I've seen a few of my favorite YouTubers do no makeup looks, and if you guys follow me, you know I really enjoy a light makeup look, a no makeup look, if you will. So I thought I would share with you, I guess, some tips. I just hesitate in using words like that because I'm not a makeup artist. I just, I like playing around with makeup, and so I guess what I will share with you are just some experiences or things I've learned in trying to achieve this no makeup look. So if you're interested in that, definitely stick around. So what I'm going to start with is the base. So when it comes to a no makeup look, what I have realized, and this is going to sound, just really obvious, but you want to use a light base. And not even so much because a lighter base is closer to no makeup than a heavier base. But when you put on a foundation that has a lot of coverage in there, what you end up having to do is sort of build back in dimension. So if you use a full coverage kind of foundation, you can't really just stop there. You have to add a little contour, you have to add a little highlight, you have to start bringing things forward and back. Otherwise, when you use like such a heavy coverage foundation, it's just everything is going to look really, really flat and blank. So you want to avoid using products that are going to force you to use other products, and a heavy base is going to force you to use contour and bronzer and highlight and blush, and then we are very, very far away from a no makeup look. So there are several different types of light bases that I like to apply. Again, very obviously, there are very light coverage bases, but sometimes I feel like even that can be a bit much, especially if I'm trying to achieve a no makeup look. And a lot of times when I'm going for this look, I'm also in a rush. I just don't want to apply that much makeup. So another way that I achieve a very light base is to not use a base, but to just use concealer. So I think that's one way of avoiding just sort of masking your face. One concealer, you guys have heard me talk about this a lot, is the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. This concealer I really enjoy using, not just underneath my eyes, but all over my face as well. So I can just sort of kind of pinpoint conceal where I want just a little bit more coverage, where I want to just sort of, blank out a few things. That is definitely one approach to a light base. And the other one is I don't even know how to talk about this or categorize this, but I like using bases that will like blur my skin or, add a little bit of a sheen or a finish to my skin that isn't just necessarily like a flesh toned pigment. And I feel like things that help blur my skin kind of give the illusion that I have a little bit more makeup on than I actually do. So for example, I've talked about like the Chantecaille Ultra Sun Protection Sunscreen SPF 45. This is such a great one, especially in the summertime. But this has a real kind of smoothing, blurring effect to the skin. And sometimes when I'm feeling strong, when I put this on, I feel like this is the only thing I need. I can go straight into like my color makeup from there, like blush and eyeshadow and things like that. So like blurring type of bases that don't necessarily have a lot of coverage, I think are very effective in giving the illusion that your skin is smoother and more even without the pigmentation. So I don't have any makeup on right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start with this. But there's other things that you can use, like primers that have a little bit of glow to them, like the Bobbi Brown Illuminating Moisture Balm in Bare Glow. I think this is really great. This is very, very balmy, very moisturizing. So if you have really dry skin, I think this is wonderful. You can always use something like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, like just in areas. I don't necessarily like putting this all over my face. I think maybe it's a little too much, but maybe if you have an oilier skin type and you don't want to put something all over your face that's like super glowy, this could be really good, just sort of adding it to certain areas. And then I really like adding things like this By Terry Brightening CC Serum. I have it in Sunny Flash, which is a bronzy kind of finish. And it does have a little bit of more than just a little bit, but not too much of a glow. And again, it gives me that kind of illusion that my skin is a lot smoother and, it's blurred out a little bit more, less fine lines, things like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with the Chantecaille Ultra Sun protection sunscreen because I actually haven't applied any sunscreen yet today. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add this. And I think the other thing when it comes to no makeup is really kind of like assessing your skin, your face, your mood, even when you're applying makeup. I think we all get into the habit of applying makeup, the order in which we apply it, how much we apply, and there's just some days where you just don't need as much, or obviously there are some days where you feel like you need a little bit more coverage if you're tired, if you have a breakout or something like that. But on the days that you're trying to go for like a no makeup look, I think it's really important to really like stop and like assess and say, do I really need like that much concealer today? Do I really need to add powder everywhere? I think like, yeah, kind of just breaking out of our everyday kind of habit of putting makeup on will also probably save you some steps. So, okay, so here is that primer. And yeah, immediately my skin just looks smoother, it looks softer, it looks blurred. So this is a really good one if you just feel like you need just a little something, like those days where you just need a little help, where you just want to look just a little bit healthier. This is a really good one. And then after that, you take a look in the mirror, you think, okay, I need maybe just a little bit more. I would go in with a concealer, or if you have like a fuller coverage foundation, you can even use that to like spot conceal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just apply this lightly. Again, you wanna use a light hand, again, for obvious reasons, because this is a no makeup look. But the less makeup you use, especially at this stage, the less makeup you're gonna have to use in the following steps to kind of counteract that. So I am just gonna tap that in, and I feel like that looks pretty good. I'm going to just add a little bit to these sunspots here, a little bit to the redness here. But again, I have to make sure I'm keeping this light. I'm just gonna leave my forehead blank, and I'm just gonna use a brush to blend that all in. And if you're applying concealer to specific spots like sunspots and like specific areas like that, I definitely recommend pouncing with your brush so that you're not swiping it over a much larger area that you didn't mean to apply it to. So I would just kind of press the product in. Of course, you can use your finger. I like using a brush. Press the product into your skin where exactly you placed it. So that is it for base. Next, I tend to do this because I have dry skin, but I tend to take an assessment whether or not I need powder. Today happens to be a really, really warm day in Vegas, and we've had to crank up the AC. So I'm just sort of sitting here a little bit schwitzy here. So I do feel like I need a little bit of powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and just powder like the tip of my nose where it tends to get, really oily, and maybe just a little bit here. Okay, so I'm just going to, again, just add to those spots that I know is going to be probably a little bit shinier than I would like as the day goes on, and maybe a little bit down like the center of my, between my eyebrows. So again, I like to use as little product as possible, because if you put a lot of powder down and you start to look a little bit too dry, then you're gonna go in maybe with a lot of highlighter to kind of bring out a little bit more of a sheen in your skin. And the less of that, the better when trying to achieve a no makeup look. So I'm just gonna leave it there for powder. Again, this is completely personal. I have dry skin, so I just needed it there. If you have oily skin, you're probably gonna wanna powder all over. And then at this point, what I like to decide is, what is it I wanna accent? Because a no makeup look definitely is not going to be a heavy eye look, a heavy cheek look, and a really bold lip. That right there is a lot of makeup. But I think if you use just a light amount here, there, and on your lips, like it's just gonna be like a why bother situation. So I like to pick an area that I want to bring out. And for me personally, and again, I think this is very personal, if I focus on my cheeks, I kind of give myself a rosy cheek and I keep my eyes really light and my lips really glossy, I feel like that's a really great no makeup look. I still am able to achieve looking youthful and healthy, and I have a little color, a little flush in my face, but I don't look like I have a lot of heavy makeup on. So that's all I'm going to do here. I'm going to forego, bronzer. I'm going to forego contour. I'm not going to use any highlight. And so because of that, I want a cheek product that is, I guess, multi-purpose, something that I think maybe has a little bit of a sheen, so it can double as a blush and a highlight, maybe a shade that is a little bit on the warmer side. So it also does kind of like do a little bronzing to my skin. And so, I really like this By Terry Brightening CC Liquid Blush in Sunny Glow. Yeah, number 2, Sunny Glow, because it kind of covers all of that for me. I feel like it's a highlighter, blush, and a little bit of a bronzer all in one. So I'm able to achieve like a look that would normally be achieved by 3 products, and I can do it with 1. And so again, with the focus being no makeup, I think this is really, really great. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this product, just press it onto my cheeks. And again, because I am using this as a blush predominantly, but also as highlight, also as like a little bit of a bronze, I'm not putting it just in this like one blush area. I'm sort of spreading it out everywhere. And I do think there are a lot of products that achieve this situation, if you will, like the Bobbi Brown Illuminating Bronzing Powder in Antigua. This looks like a straight up blush, but it really works very, very well to like add dimension to your face in a bronzing way. It's obviously very cool toned, so I think it works for people with a cooler skin tone, but it works beautifully like I'm applying this, just sort of all over your cheek. And I think it adds a nice flush. It adds a little bit of depth here. And because it's illuminating, it has like a satin sheen. I think it does like a nice little highlighting situation. So this is a good one. I think another great one is this Charnel blush from Dior. You guys know how much I love this blush. It is very peachy, slightly nude in the nude family. It has a beautiful satin sheen, much like the Bobbi Brown. And again, this is something that is really beautiful. And I think this works for more skin tones than the Antigua. I feel like this would work if you have neutral to warm leaning skin. Even if you have like slightly cool skin, I think this would work well for you. So that is one. Another one, much like the Charnel, this is Fresco from Laura Mercier. This has that kind of nude feeling to it with a little bit of warmth. This also has a really beautiful sheen. So I think if you put it generously, like in your cheek area, it'll just look really beautiful, and it'll take care of 3 products in one. So let me go ahead and just finish applying this Brightening CC blush here. And I mentioned the By Terry Brightening CC serum when I was talking about base, but I think you could achieve the same thing with this serum as well. This is a little bit less. It's very similar, very, very similar to the Sunny Glow. I think the texture of it is a little bit thinner. It's more serum-like. And I find, I don't know, it could just be like the bottle that I have, but I find that the CC blush is just a little bit peachier than the Sunny Flash. So slight difference there, but I think you can achieve basically the same thing and the same idea. So that's just one product on my cheek. Keeps it light, keeps it simple. It doesn't make you too highlighty. It's not too, bronzed or whatever. So again, we're maintaining this like no makeup look. Okay, for brows, obviously we want to keep that really, really light. We want to keep that simple. So I'm going to use the Dior Onset Brow Gel. And I have this in the shade Dark Brown. And this is just such a great brow gel. I can kind of throw it in and not worry about it looking too thick or too bold. I think a bold brow is one of those aspects to like your whole makeup look. Like if you do a really bold brow, you really have to fill in the rest of your face. It really makes everything else look completely diminished. Like all you see are brows coming at you if they're really, really bold. And then I think you're forced to put on a little bit more eye makeup, maybe put on a bolder lip. So I think keeping your brows light, maybe just filling it in, not making it too bold, keeping it really light, will keep the like lightness of the look. So I think that's really important too. And then when it comes to eyes, I think it's, again, really important to keep it light. I think a lot of people will just throw on mascara at this point. I don't really have a lot of lashes, so I don't feel like I can get away with that necessarily. But I do like doing just a one and done eyeshadow look. And then maybe just adding mascara, maybe eyeliner. Again, eyeliner is one of those things where I feel like you have to be really careful. Otherwise, it gets bold very, very quickly. And then all of a sudden you look like you have an evening look on. So I'm going to use one of my favorite one and done shadows. And it's this Eyes to Mesmerize from Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Oyster Pearl. I've been going really, really hard with those Sisley, the new Sisley like liquid eyeshadows. And I was going to use one in today's video. And I thought, let me change it up, Michelle. They're getting bored of that. So Oyster Pearl, and I do like to use a brush with these. So I've got my Refer 27 brush. This is like a fluffy blender. And, you know, this is a cream shadow that is very, very creamy. It's not very dense or like firm. It's very, very moussey. So you kind of have to be careful. I'm just going to put the tips of this brush into this pot here. And, you know, you can always add, but it's very hard to take away. So I'm going to start light. And again, you know, we want to maintain this like no makeup look. So just going in really, really lightly. So I'm going to spread some over here. And this brush, because it's so fluffy, is really kind of helping me maintain like a light application. And you guys know how much I love one and done eyeshadows. I did a video, was it last summer maybe? Maybe it was last year at some point. I did like my favorite one and done shadows. I think I'm going to do that again because there are some new ones that I need to add to that list. So anyway, let me know if you're interested in that video. Definitely subscribe down below if you'd like to see that. But yeah, I think I'm going to film that. Maybe after this video, I'm going to film that. All right. That's it, Oyster Pearl. That's the only eyeshadow I'm gonna put on. I'm gonna go ahead and curl my eyelashes and I'll come back to put on some mascara. So since I am trying to keep this light, I am going to use a mascara that is brown. So I've got my So Stretch mascara from Sisley. I have it in the shade number 2, which is dark brown. I think, you know, for me, I don't think it would make that much of a difference because I don't really have a lot of lashes. So if I used, you know, black mascara, I don't think it would all of a sudden turn my, you know, look into something really dramatic. But I think if you have naturally long, beautiful, luscious lashes, maybe using a color that's just a little bit softer than black will help achieve and like this, the continuity of this like no makeup look. Because I do think mascara on like bold, you know, big lashes is a look. It's almost like the eyebrows. Like all of a sudden at that point, you have to fill in the rest of your face to kind of match your lashes. So anyway, I'm just gonna use the brown on my puny lashes. All right, and then this is definitely, I kind of stopped to assess what is going on. Do I need some eyeliner? How's my eyeshadow looking? Do I need to kind of like pull out my cheeks a little bit more? I think I'm okay without any eyeliner. I don't, you know, I'm not really like big on like a heavy eye look anyway. I think if anything, maybe I would put like brightening liner in my waterline. So maybe let's do that. So my favorite, as you guys know, is the Chantecaille Brightening Eye Kajal. Yeah, Brightening Eye Kajal in nude. And I just love the shade of this pencil because it's not stark white, but it's also not too peachy, too warm, which I feel like is really obvious. I feel like this does just such a good job just brightening. So there it is. And here's without. I don't know if you guys can see the difference with the lighting. All right, so just a little brightening in the waterline. And then for lips, again, a no makeup look, you know, in my mind would be a gloss, a tinted balm, something like that. And I'm gonna stick with something nude. So I have the Dior, can never keep these names straight, Dior Addict. I have the Beige Oblique. This is like the refillable one. Anyway, this is the shade Beige Oblique. I'll link it down below if you're interested. But, you know, a no makeup look to me is kind of like a nude lip. But I think if you know, need a little bit of color or whatever, you can most definitely use like a bright gloss, Like I have the Hermes glosses sitting here, and I feel like this would be really nice. Those Make Beauty serum balms, I think those would be really lovely. You know, just a light kind of tint of a color I think can do wonders, especially if you don't have like a ton of other makeup on your face. So I'm just gonna go in with a nude. And again, I think at this point I would kind of do an assessment because I'm pretty much done with the look, but like a nude lip sometimes needs a little bit of help. Like, do I need to add a little lip liner? Maybe. Are there any areas at this point where I may want to conceal a little bit more? Do I want to bring my blush out just a little bit more? But for me, this is like a really ideal no makeup look. I feel like all the products that I used are very subtle, but very effective all at the same time. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what some of your favorite no makeup look products are down below in the comment section. And yeah, definitely subscribe if you are interested in seeing like an updated one and done favorite eyeshadows. I'm definitely going to do that. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video.